Good morning, students. This is Prince, your English teacher. Today, we are going to look at a lesson named How the Camel Got His Hump. First of all, does anyone know how the camel got his hump? What is hump? Hump is a rounded fleshy mass, such as on a camel. You can see in this picture on the back of the camel. It's a rounded fleshy mass. That is what is called hump. Come, let us see what Joseph Rudyard Kipling is going to talk about how the camel got his hump. Let us look at the biography of the author. Joseph Rudyard Kipling was an Indian born British author. He was born on 30th December 1865 in Mumbai, died in London in 1936. He was a short story writer, novelist, poet, and journalist. He was known for children's literature, poetry, travel literature, which means travelogue, and science fiction. His books were like The Jungle Book, Kim, Just So Stories, The White Man's Burden. He was also awarded a Nobel Prize for literature in 1907. Vocabulary used in this lesson. As we already saw, hump means a rounded fleshy mass such as on a camel. Prickle, which means a sharp pointed object like thorn. Saddle, a seat for a rider placed on the back of a horse. Trot, to walk along, to journey along. Fetch, to retrieve or to bring, to get. Yoke, a pole carried on the neck and shoulders of someone. Like you may see an ox may be carrying yoke for plowing and so on. Curd, the portion of food which is brought back into the mouth from the stomach to be chewed a second time. Usually animals do, like cows and cattle, camel, they eat and bring back whatever they've eaten and they munch, they chew second time. Chew, to crush with the teeth repeatedly. Idle, not engaged in any work. View, view is an expressive sound to release one's inner tension, like we say. Remonstrate, to object or to express disapproval. Lump, it is in units, a group, a mound or mass. Dust cloak, a loose, lightweight coat garment. Confer, to talk together, to discuss. Puff up, puff up is to fluff up, such as an animal raising its fur or feathers to appear larger and to conserve body heat. Let us look at the summary of the lesson. Once you go through the vocabulary, you please make sure that you note all the vocabulary in your rough copy for your learning. So let us look at the summary of the lesson. In the beginning, when the world was new, a lazy camel sits idle without any work at the middle of the howling desert. The desert's name is Howling Desert. The camel eats prickles and milkweeds, while Other animals like horse and dog and ox call him for help. He responds, hump. The three animals complain about the camel to Jinn, the man in charge of all deserts. Jinn heads to the middle of the desert to meet the camel to find out why he doesn't work. Despite Jinn's warning to be fair with the other animals, the camel responds the same, humph. A huge hump grows on the back of the camel as soon as the camel responds to Zin. Zin tells the camel that his very own hump brought by his selfishness and lack of activity. He also says the camel has to work, and the camel asks how he can work with a giant hump on his back. Zin explains that the hump will hold enough fuel for him to be able to work for 3 days without eating. Finally, the camel goes to join the three animals, and from that day, the camel carries his hump always. The camel has yet to catch up with the work he missed in the beginning of time and has not yet learned how to behave. That is the summary. So, I have given you homework to do. You need to answer the four questions which are given in the text from the page 3. You write all the answers in your rough copy and keep it for the next day. Thank you.